Hello, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will teach you how to create this DIY school bus costume, and I absolutely love it. This is probably one of my favorite things that I've created so far, and some of my favorite features of this costume are that the lights actually turn on in the front. That's definitely my daughter's favorite part of this, and she uses it more of a toy than a costume. However, we do have the straps here that I turned my old belt into. I just cut it and then attached it to the inside of the costume so that she could wear it. And then on the back, I personalized it with her name and a Washington, D.C. license plate because that's where she was born. This is my second year making my daughter a DIY costume. Last year she was a crayon. I do have that video linked in my description box if you are interested in learning how to make DIY crayons. So let's go ahead and jump right into the supplies that I used. For this project, I used my Cricut Maker 3 to cut out all of the designs for the school bus, and I used Cricut brand felt. In my opinion, this is the best felt to craft with because it doesn't leave a lot of fuzzy material on your mat when you're done. You'll also need a mat to place your felt on when cutting it with your Cricut. Another thing that I used was this Cricut Easy Press Mini, and I also used Smart iron-on material. This is the glitter iron-on. When you're crafting with glitter iron-on, you need to make sure that the shiny side goes down onto the mat, or if you're not using a mat, make sure that the material is shiny side down when you're feeding the Cricut. For the base of the school bus, I used an empty Cricut Maker 3 box, and I cut off the flaps using a knife. I definitely should have used one of those bigger razors. I forgot what they're called, but I couldn't find it. And then I realized right after I finished cutting that it was right in my pencil container, which is annoying. But anyways, I definitely don't recommend using a tiny knife to cut your box. It takes forever. Okay, so then I used poster board to cover the box. Now, the reason why I used poster board was because if you don't, then the letters and the words that are on the box will be see-through if you're covering it up with felt. I ended up covering it up with poster board first. I pretty much just taped it all over. First, I used duct tape, but then I found out that packing tape was much better. And once I was finished basically wrapping the entire box up with poster board, I added felt. So this is yellow felt from the Cricut brand package that I showed you earlier. And I just cut it to size and hot glued it onto the box to cover it. The smaller box is my empty camera box that I recycled. And here are the two lights that I used for the headlights. Now let's head over to Cricut Design Space where I do have this school bus project live. If you want that link, I'll put it in the description box, but just click on it and go to customize and then it'll take you to the canvas. So you can zoom out by going to the bottom left, and this is all of the designs that I used. You don't have to cut out the yellow because that's the actual school bus that you're decorating. So here's how to hide it. You just click on it and click the little eyeball that's on the right side. And that way, when you go to cut your material, the machine won't say it's too big to cut because we don't have that large yellow space, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we are in this section where all of the different pieces are separated depending on the color. So if you're new to the Cricut Design Space, that's why they're all on different mats. And if you see here, this window piece is too big and it won't allow you to pick a smaller mat. So what you do is click on those 4 windows and click contour and just make 2 of them blank. And then that way, when you go back to your mat, then it will fit on a 12 by 12 mat if that's the size of mat that you have. If you have a 12 by 24, that's even better because you can just cut everything in one go and it will save some time. However, it's totally not necessary. A 12 by 12 mat works perfectly fine. That's actually what I used. And then I'm selecting my Cricut Maker 3 using my USB cord. Then select your material. I already have this bookmarked, but if you don't, go to browse all materials and search for what you need. I'm selecting craft bonded felt, and then I am also changing my tool to rotary blade because it cuts felt so much better. So here is the machine. I'm going to take out my standard blade out of the tool holder, and then I'm just switching out it to this rotary blade. And I highly recommend this. However, the regular blade works just as fine. I used to use the regular blade all the time to cut this felt material. However, I just really like the rotary blade and I already have it. So just FYI. Okay, so now we have our felt and we're putting it on our mat. And I like to use a brayer to make sure that all of the felt is down completely on the mat, because you don't want it to come up when you are cutting your design. And then we're just placing it into the machine and pressing that load button. And once it goes through the Cricut, it will prompt you to press the little triangle button on the right side. That means for it to go and to actually cut your material. So the first time that the mat goes through, it just is sensing it to make sure that you have enough material. Again, this is just for beginners. If you're new to Cricut, I like to, give a little tips to people who are just starting out. I don't want to just assume that you know everything about Cricut, because you may just be new and you're probably looking for some tutorials on how to actually use the machine. I do have some other tutorials, by the way, too, that goes more into depth about how to use a Cricut as well. So go check those out if you're interested. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So when the material is done, you just peel it off of the mat, and it's so satisfying. That's why I love using the rotary blade. So just take off all of your pieces. And then I'm also cutting out some white glitter iron-on material, and this is for the little stop sign that's on the school bus. So I take it out and I use my weeding tool to take out the excess material. I'm not going to go through every single thing that I cut, just because this video would be like an hour long, but I'll give you a few little designs that I cut. So this is the stop sign, and you just take it off of the mat. I like to leave my designs on the mat and weed it out there. It just makes it a lot easier. So that is another beginner tip. Here's the red felt that I cut using my Cricut, and then here's the design for the stop sign, and I'm just using my Cricut Easy Press Mini. I would recommend using the second hottest setting. I use the hottest setting, and there's 3 settings on here because I don't know, I just always use the hottest setting, but as you will see when I'm done, it was too hot and it made the white glitter iron-on material a little bit see-through, so you can kind of see the red through mainly the last 2 letters, the O and the P. However, it's not a big deal. I didn't redo it. I just wanted to show you guys that there is a possibility of you making your heat press too hot. So don't make that same mistake. And then here are the black pieces that I cut out using the glitter. And again, you don't have to use glitter. You can literally use anything that you want. But I just really like how glitter iron-on material looks. It just looks so good. And to me, it's way easier to attach it in opposition to everyday iron-on material, which is just standard heat transfer vinyl. So that's just my preference. You can use whatever material that you want. And I love how the felt looks on top of that. I just placed it to see that I knew where everything was supposed to go. And then I'm adding the material using my Cricut Easy Press Mini. One of the reasons why I really love using glitter iron-on material is because you can actually use your Cricut Easy Press Mini directly on the glitter and it won't damage it. So if you do that on regular everyday iron-on material, it will burn it and it will literally ruin your design. So that's why I like glitter iron-on so much, and it looks so cute. Next, I hot glued my felt pieces on there. So I have the stop sign and then I have the blue windows, and I just love that little outline that I created with the windows. I think it looks so cute. And just the details on everything with this school bus, it just looks, to me, super cute. Like, I am just honestly happy with how it turned out. The design did take me a long time to create. I did take little pieces of some designs that were already on Cricut Design Space. So I just kind of made it my own, but used inspiration from the designs already on there. After I was done adding all of the little details to the bust, like the 3 little lines here. Oh, by the way, you can use a spatula to make sure that the material is down all the way. I hot glued the little lights on here, and just make sure that you're watching your child because you don't want them to unscrew the lights and take the batteries out. So just be very cautious of that. You know, we want to make sure that we're being safe with anything that we have around our children. The final touch was to add some felt wheels on here. I didn't really know how else to make the wheels, so this was just the best I thought of. And I hot glued that to the bottom. And here is how it turned out. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this, and please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Let me know if you'll try this craft, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video. So go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know if you'll try this craft, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.